welcome back to the shop. Today I've got a 2-pound drilling hammer. Handle's in good shape, nothing wrong with the head in particular. I'm going to just clean it up and see if we can make it look better. Let's get started. Now what I'm doing is I'm just using a razor blade to scrape off some of the old finish that's on this handle. I learned that from watching Scout Crafter and 357 Magdad, so it works pretty good. So I'd started out on the handle with the random orbital, or with the razor blade here, and that works really well. It's relatively fast, it does a great job, but you know, I've got this new random orbital and I just can't sit here and do stuff manually when I got this cool stuff sitting there. That works really good. I really enjoyed using this tool. It's really quiet. It has a series of holes drilled in it, and it evacuates some of the stuff into this little bag, and that actually acts like a muffler too. So it's really quiet. And it works good. It really removes a lot of material quickly. So anyway, I just went ahead and moved on and started doing the head with that, and and that worked pretty good. I used some 60 grit on that, and that really hogged it down. But it didn't work quite as fast as the die grinder with some probably 40 grit on it or whatever. And then I came back with some 320 to sort of sand out the rougher spots, and you can see it's starting to get a little bit shiny there. But you know, it's could still be way better. I'm going to bring this over to the fiber wheel now, and the fiber wheel on paper it says it's equivalent to about 120 grit. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's a good approximation, because I think 120 grit, I mean, according to what I'm seeing, is quite a bit rougher. This will not leave a finish, and I'll show you in a second here. This kind of tool, well, let me just do it. Alright, so we'll take the side with this chunk out of it right there. The other side doesn't have it, so this will be the 120 grit sandpaper side. Alright, so that's the 120 grit sandpaper. I'm going to bring this over to the fiber wheel, and then we'll do the other side and see what kind of a finish we get with that. Alright, so here we have the side that I did with 120 grit sandpaper. And that's what the fiber wheel says it is. You can see that there's a little bit of a shine on that, but it's still very rough. Now the side with the fiber wheel, again, it's got a better shine on it. It leaves a better finish, which leads me to believe that in terms of equivalencies, it's probably, you know, 320 or 400 grit would be my estimation. And it doesn't remove much material. I mean, it will round over edges and things like that, but it does it very slowly. It doesn't really remove a lot of metal very quickly, which is a good thing about the fiber wheel. So anyway, let me go ahead and keep polishing this up and see what we end up with. Alright, so here we are. I've got a pretty good shine on that, if you can start to see yourself there. And then the amount of reflection on there is, you know, it's pretty respectable, all things considered, I think. So anyway, that shined up nice. Look at the way that head is set in there with the 2 different types of wood and a round pin. That's really well done. So, you know, I guess that's probably the best I've seen. And the plumb hatchet that I had was also set like that, and maybe the Vaughn too. But anyway, that's really nicely done. Again, not really a name brand that I could tell. It's got some sort of maker's mark in there. I painted the bottom gold. And then the handle, I dipped in that blue paint I had. I was watching Super Wrench Garage, and he says, oh, well, you know, I don't want to use blue, that's Joe's color, and Scoutcrafter, of course, has red. You know, by all means, I don't have a color. What I do have is I have a can of blue paint that I'm trying to use up. It's not that I'm partial to blue or anything like that. I'm just using what I got. So for you guys out there that are thinking, oh, you know, I've got certain colors or whatever, you know, by all means, use whatever color you want. I think the blue looks cool. I had got the inspiration from the tack hammer that I'd done not too long ago, and that was, you know, somebody else's idea, and I just thought it was pretty neat. So I tried it here, and I think this is pretty nice. This paint's a little tacky, so I'm going to set this out and let it dry, and come back, put another coat of Paste Wax on this later on. But anyway, that's my 2-pound drilling hammer. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and enjoy your weekend.